democratic countries have their challenges. And when the most so-called democracies are put to test in times of challenges, then there's where you know that you realize that democracy is not so easy to implement by any imagination. Suffice to say that all efforts should be made by all institutions and governments towards democratic principles. I was impressed to hear about the passports, and I think the Ministry of Internal Affairs needs a clap for that. They're doing very well in terms of the passport. I can vouch about that, because the usual complaints, we used to get numerous complaints about passports. I think so that it's reduced also on those corrupt people who used to come and take money from people saying they deposited passports. I think those have been reduced. National identity cards expiring soon. But I don't know why national identity cards should expire. I don't understand why these should expire. I don't know. I think it should expire at death. But if every 3 years, 4 years, you spend so much money, really. In other countries, once you finish your national ID card, finish, capiche. Maybe after another, except for a certain age range, because of the features change. But most of the time for adults, it is until death do us apart or whatever. On security, yes, we're doing well, but with some challenges. ADF is giving us a hard time on our western borders. You saw what I did to tourists recently. When I was coming here, I'm told there's another attack on our borders. ADF. There's a lot of where we have to work from there. CCTV is doing well. I even saw in my Kidu town has some coverage. I hope they work with CCTVs. We can see those things there, but I don't know if they work. But anyway, he reported that they're there. So and so forth. So there are many things, but the performance are not as needs to be enhanced. Good to say that we're doing effort, but we need to be consistent in our efforts towards all this. The fight against terrorism, everybody should be on top of that. Refugees, we're doing very well in refugees. But I think also a bit too much on refugees. I think Uganda is over generous on refugees. Everybody pats us on the back on the issue of refugees, but it remains a pat at the back. Refugees come with their issues, come with their problems. For me, for one, the issue of refugees, go to Kasanga, go to that area,
yes,
and then you'll know that the demography is changing. They're pushing our people out. We also have to start looking inside. This is not unique in Uganda. Even in Western Europe now, they're complaining about immigrants. So why should Uganda be the one to lead our space? So, as much as we're generous about refugees, but welcome them, but also we have to look closer at other issues than refugees. The refugees who have been here since 2007 crisis, their homes are now peaceful, but because we give them land, they had landless when they were in the country, now you give them 2 acres, 3 acres. You think they're going to go back where they're landless? But anyway, we're trying with that. Delivery of justice, I'm a lawyer, and this is something I've been complaining for the last 10 years. Backlog, honestly. Why don't we bring back all the retired judges and borrow money, give them money, and we get rid of all the backlogs? the retired judge is just digging and looking after them, Matoke and cows. They would bring them all back and clear the backlog. About the backlog, we have talked about the backlog for over 10 years this year. Something has to be done. But backlog, we cannot clap for this one. It is, me, I don't agree. This one I will not even clap for it myself. Corruption. If I had my way, anybody found it, they should be shot. Including me, if I was found, I should be shot. I'm going to avail myself. Corruption. It's amazing. But they even, you cannot believe in this country, they even ask for the minister. You want to service in this country as a minister? If you don't, hey. We need to, but anyway, I can see my Mazuku friends are here. They don't like executions and death penalties, so what do we do? They'll say it's human rights and so on and so forth. But I think corrupt people should do what? Hang, as an example, then others will. When the NRM came here, those days, early days, remember, people will be shot, soldiers will be executed. That's how they got ordered in the UPDF. A UPDF soldier who kills civilians using a UPDF gun is shot and executed in the area in which he committed crime. That's how we got ordered the army. That's how the army became disciplined. That's why you see this army running around there now. Civilians also want to beat up. I saw civilians now even beating up UPDF officers. That's how we got sanity in the army. But then some people came from abroad and said, oh, human rights, see, this. So, for me, corruption is, I think we need to change the law in the issue of corruption. You should because the law says you should what? You're innocent until proved guilty. Let's put it the other way around in terms of corruption. And with all these assets, all this, you prove to me that you're innocent. And then we'll see what happens. How many people will be executed? Yes, because, you know, I hope the press is not here. Then I'll be executed also. But anyway, the report has been given. How do you proceed now? Do you get comments? Secretariat. Well,